and a this is my first episode of my personal review podcast. Now, what is this review podcast going to be about? Well, like I said yesterday, it's just going to be about fighting in general, what is going on in the fighting world, with like examples like wrestling, meaning WWE, AEW, and all of those other independent wrestling companies. Also, the boxing world. We are getting updates on those, and we are also getting updates on UFC too, as there's been a lot of events going into UFC. For example, like they're going to Dublin. They're going back to Dublin because I think they had a show in Dublin before, but I think this is their second time going to Dublin, I think. And we're also getting a show in Auckland, and all of the other famous fighters like Mazadov, Usman coming in fight week. There's also going to be
everything's gonna be great.
Yoel Romero. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. And Stylebender, aka Israel. I'm just gonna call him Israel because I don't know if I can pronounce his last name. And against Israel later on, probably in the summer or so. And we are also finally getting Khabib versus Ferguson, the match everybody's been waiting for maybe 3 to 4 years. This has been 4 years or maybe 5 years in the making, I believe. And hopefully it happens. Hopefully they're all good fights. So far we have been getting very good fights this year of 2020, but we've also been getting sad news. For example, like Kobe Bryant recently passed away. It was a really tough week for me, especially with his loss and stuff, especially with Gian. I feel bad for the family. Hopefully Bryant's family's doing very well in this hard time. And also we've also lost a former rap artist named Pop Smoke, which I've listened to his music, even though I was a fan of him. I was starting to become a fan of him because the way he just like, we've gotten a new voice in New York lately, and this was one of them. Pop Smoke is a future legend, I would say personally. And if you guys don't know who Pop Smoke is, he is a new rapper coming from New York who recently died in the Hollywood Hills of California. Now, I've heard that a few artists have been receiving backlash for this. Now, what do I think of that? Blueface respond by saying that, oh, LA is fake, and that you shouldn't be trusting nobody in LA. If you're not from here, then it's not safer. And I'm like, first off, come on. Number one, there's been so you're saying that Biggie was, yes, Biggie was from New York, but at the same time Biggie was respected also in LA at the time still. But Blueface, I used to listen to his music, but then after he said some comments about that, and especially about how comedians can't become rap artists. First off, this Kamina, hopefully I said it right, rapped about him saying that, saying that his song is out now. It was called, I believe, Blackface Baby. Yeah, it's called Blackface. Which is out now, so.
Someone's gotta take up this fired, and they're hitting me.
Oh, come on. But yeah, Blackface Baby, which it's a really good diss track on Blueface. I considered it to be quite funny and a little little of a good song, like good little diss. Blue. I'm getting blue of these emblems. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're rare, but I don't care. But yes. Now what was I back to? Oh yes, back to the fighting world. So not only will I'll be doing reviews on this week's coming Impact Impact, AEW, and WWE shows. Now, I didn't watch SmackDown. I haven't been watching SmackDown lately. I need to catch up. So far, I've heard that the shows have been iffy. Maybe have been a half and half show, meaning there was some good parts and there was some bad parts, which is respected.
I'm ready for this. I am so ready for this. I am extremely ready for this. Are we ready?
But yes, so
It's time.
wait, what was I saying?
One thing.
Oh yes,
Someone will die.
that I'll be reviewing both WWE, AEW, and NXT, and Impact, and maybe NWA, but I'm still thinking about NWA because it's still kind of getting started, but it'll eventually get there. But now let's go to WWE. So first, WWE on Raw. Raw has been entertaining a lot for a little while now, even though despite their past mess ups over the past 2 years, they have gotten better and they have listened a little bit to the fans. But at the same time, SmackDown, however, hasn't been really enjoyable. Like I already know, The Fiend versus Goldberg at Super Showdown. We already obviously know that The Fiend is going to win, and this will definitely be a squash match. That's for sure. What else is going to happen? Oh God. Ah, great, I'm stuck in the rock. But yeah, so The Fiend will be versing Goldberg, after a big, little situation. Yeah, the big little situation and all that. We are getting the match between Goldberg and The Fiend, sadly. But let's talk about other news, like for example, The Miz and John Morrison, the Dirt Sheet, the old tag team of the 21st, I think, still century. Yeah, well, the 21st century. Now this tag team was very unique. It used to be a good tag team, but I just didn't like the way Morrison was built up into it, and that, well, The Miz is alright. The Miz is good. I'm just worried about Morrison. Like, they gave him a little screw job at the Rumble, but it was just messed up to me personally. I didn't like the job they did with that. But it's looking decent for him right now as he's going for the tag team titles. I hope they take it away from the New Day at the Super Showdown. At the Super Showdown. Oh my goodness. Hope they take it away from them, because the SmackDown's title tag team championships and division has been boring, and I will say that it has been really boring. Raw's tag team division, it's looking decent, but at the same time, Raw's tag team division is no better. Is no better, and that is a fact. Because at the same time, the Fiend, Buddy Murphy, and Seth Rollins are the tag champs. Now, why would you put these guys as the tag team champions, when first off, they're not even a real tag team?
I got a bad guy. Reloading. Reloading.
Where is this guy? Watch this. Oh, come on. Okay, there we
I'm
go.
going to help.
Yay.
Was the last of their squad.
And that, but at the same time, both tag team divisions have been going down. The tag team division has sucked over the past maybe 2 year or so. But anyway, let's get back into oh god. Let's get back into wrestling more. So also we're going to Raw. The main tag titles have been going on a very good run. I will say that. They've done a very good job with McIntyre and his reign as he's and I mean his promo, I'm sorry, as he goes into versing Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. It's looking good. The promos have been good. Not the best, but good. As for the Universal title, I just hope that the rumors that are set that Roman Reigns is to verse The Fiend at WrestleMania, which I hope it's not true, but it is, sadly.
Recharging my shields.
Just gotta patch myself up.
And like, let me tell you this: Roman Reigns is a good competitor, but I just don't think he's that much of a good competitor. Like, yes, he's had some very good, decent fights, but at the same time, they're treating him like John Cena or like The Rock, the way he was treated. Which, by the way, I think a lot of people like The Rock's more, but I highly doubt it. Well, anyway,
One sec, healing up.
what else we are? The United States title. Now, when it was in, I repeat, when it was in Andrade's hands, that was starting to get relevant. Now that he was suspended due to the wellness policy or something like that, he is being so-called stripped from the U.S. title, which I think personally it's unfair to me personally. The reason why I think it's unfair is because, one, he was starting to make the U.S. title relevant again, and as for a while the U.S. title wasn't really relevant for quite some time due to poor booking and poor dumb decisions. Where are we at? Okay.
Yep.
Poor dumb decisions. So it was said that Andrade will win the title, and I'm very proud that he won his first title. But since that is going to be happening, it is sad that he will be stripped from the title.
The next ring is far. Keep an eye on the clock.
But yes, it was a bad decision.
I know I heard them. Reloading.
Can you
The boy.
But yes, it was a very bad decision for this decision to happen, and I'm really sad about what's gonna happen with the U.S. title again for the 100th time. I've been disappointed. Now let's talk about the Intercontinental title now. A very, I repeat, very big disappointment. Very big, and especially with a new title design that looks perfect and prestigious, but no, they treat it like garbage. They don't know how to book storylines for SmackDown really so-called well. and it's in the hands of Braun Strowman, which I am proud that he's won a title. But at the same time, it's like we already gave up on Braun Strowman trying to become a champion. Let's be honest, we gave up. He should have been Universal Champion for a very long time. He should have been. When he was supposed, I think he was supposed to be the man to beat Brock Lesnar. But no, what do? They treat their superstars that are very good, garbage. Treat them very garbage. And what they do, they give him more whack storylines, like him and Elias versus Sami Zayn's team of international superstars. Which, these superstars have great potential, but they don't use them correctly. Like Shinsuke Nakamura, he should have been WWE champion 2 years ago. What happened? He's still not WWE champion. I mean, he wasn't WWE champion because of terrible booking. Sorry, I'm just focused on also trying to get into the circle, but it was terrible booking. That was the problem, or terrible decision making, I should say more. Now let's talk about the storylines that have been also happening on SmackDown. Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin. Now, I like the idea that Baron Corbin was able to reinvent himself using the King gimmick. The only problem is that him versus Reigns a billion times is not really necessary. It's not, because 1, people are getting tired of seeing that match. 2, it's boring. 3, everyone's just tired of it. And I hope this is really the end of their match. Because if it's not, then I'm not going to be tuning into SmackDown no more. Goodbye, you just lost a SmackDown sponsor.
Syringe here.
Now, with the love stories, like with Mandy Rose and Otis, that is a story I liked. Now, as for the Liv Morgan, and God, I hope that I wouldn't say this storyline, but Liv Morgan, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, and Lana have created a little love story, which Liv Morgan is bi in this story. Now, do I like this gimmick? Not really. Not really. Like, the promos from her teaser looked amazing, and I thought she was gonna be with Bray Wyatt, but no, it turned out to be a complete failure. A failure because of this whack trash love story. And then Lana's saying that, oh, that I'm with Bobby Lashley now and marrying him and all that, and it's just, oh my God. Like, come on. Yeah, I can't. And then it makes no sense. And then Rusev gets put on a bad decision making by superstars and by managers or whatever. But let's not talk about that. The storyline have been pretty much ended, but not really. Now, what do I think about a Raw storyline between Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo? Now, let me say this: Humberto Carrillo was treated way better on the main Raw, on NXT or on 205 Live, better than what he is doing now. Better than what he is doing now.
Noxious gas deployed.
When he was with AJ Styles, terrible feud. When he was with another person, another terrible feud. Where is this guy, by the way? I want to know this.
I don't like reliving it.
Oh God, I'm so.
Downed an enemy. They're dropping. Downed another.
I'm down. I'm not done yet.
Oh, where is this guy though? Did this dude just ran? Oh, this idiot.
Well, let's just say little birdie told me all about
But yeah, Roberto Carrillo should have gotten a cruiserweight title opportunity. One, because he was undefeated in singles competition for a very long time. He was supposed to get one. But unfortunately, due to, if you guys remember, the Drew Gulak story, when he was good, but now he's in the back eating probably catering, he was turned into a joke as soon as he went to the main roster. Same with Humberto. They treat him like garbage because he is an international superstar. He is a Mexican. Now, WWE can be sometimes racist, though. We have seen this before with the I forgot his name, Jordan Miles, but I forgot his other name. ACH, yeah, ACH, I believe he was called. ACH, which, by the way, they made like a racist shirt, I believe. It looked like a Gucci shirt, but whatever. A cheap knockoff of a Gucci shirt, but it's all good. But anyway, they made a terrible version of that. He complained about it. He left NXT, and now I think he's in a new company called MLW, which I've been watching lately. It's a really good show. It has MJF, a superstar from AEW, and some new stars, some old stars. Phoenix and Pentagon used to be there, but it was a very good, but it's still a very good show. Now, now we are, I think we're done with WWE, the first part. Now it's for NXT. NXT, where should we start? The North American title. Now, they had a recent pay-per-view which was amazing. I mean, an amazing pay-per-view for their first pay-per-view of this big year, 2020. The Dijakovic match and Keith Lee pretty much was the third match to have stealed the show, and that is a definite fact. With the woman in the hardcore in the Extreme Rules match, or I think it was a No Holds Barred match, that was also a very good show, very good showing. And it's sad because the NXT Women's title was terrible. It was decent, but that women's match stole the show. Stole pretty much a little bit of the show, so it's still kind of disappointing. Now, as for the other parts,
Good. Inside this next ring.
and what is next? And then it was the NXT Tag Team titles. Very entertaining story. I repeat, very entertaining. Oh, damn it. Very entertaining storyline, especially with Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. They have a weird chemistry, but it's a very good, entertaining chemistry. And their match with the Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish was a very good match indeed. Now, as for the NXT title, now I had my ups and downs. I felt like that it could have gone either way. Could Adam Cole win? Yes. Could Tommaso Ciampa win? Yes. The reason why I thought really in my gut I wanted Tommaso Ciampa to win, but I knew that Adam Cole would win. Now, did I expect the ending? Definitely not. I did not expect that ending. Now, what are my thoughts on the ending of the TakeOver Portland? My thoughts on the ending. Johnny Gargano. after having the second best match of the night, lost to Finn Balor. Which, by the way, he's won only 4 takeovers. He has the most takeover appearances, but he has over 11 losses now and 4 takeover wins. Now, as for that being the second match of the night, that stole the show. The ending just, why? Why, like, not why Johnny, but at the same time, why this storyline again when we've already known the results? When we should already not know this. Number one, we've seen that rivalry. Yes, it was a good rivalry that lasted for maybe 2 years. But at the same time, it's like, that's over. We need to move on to something new. Not the same thing over and over, but this time, oh, it's a little twist where Johnny wins. Where Johnny turns heel. Which, by the way, his first heel turn was very good. I didn't mind that. That was a really good story with him and Aleister Black when he was in the main roster. The problem with that little storyline is because it's already happened. Who cares? That's it. No more. The story ended in a good note. And that's it. Nothing else. It should not be continuing at all. Ah, you've got to be kidding me. I have to save these guys' butts again. It ended in a good note.
Picked up our squad mate's banner.
Now the problem, and with NXT's Adam Cole, he has been I think probably one of the greatest NXT champions in my opinion so far. Despite Finn Balor becoming the longest reigning NXT champion, Adam Cole has done an amazing job at what he has been doing. It has been amazing. Oh, we need to leave. Let's go this way. Oh, we're gonna die. Hate you too. But yes. So I feel like the NXT stories, and then we have the past show. Now the story with Keith Lee and Dijakovic again. It's like, okay, you guys have had 3 of probably the best matches on NXT over this past year, especially with 2 big men that are very athletic. I repeat, very, very amazing in that ring. You guys have had classics. It's time to end, and to me, it's time for Velveteen Dream to have one last shot at his North American title before he probably tries to go to the main roster. Even though I think it's a bad idea that they might treat him wrong, but I feel like he should go after Adam Cole for the NXT title, because 1, they haven't had a singles match, 2, it makes sense. But I think they should do Velveteen Dream versus Keith Lee at WrestleMania week, which it will probably be a very good match as well.
The true killer.
Rock up. It's time to move out.
Now, Velveteen Dream, his storyline with Roderick, it makes sense. Even the little designs where he had Roderick Strong's wife, trying to woo his wife at the same time. It's quite very entertaining with his feud with the Undisputed Era, because it makes sense. Now, as for, I also saw the Tommaso Ciampa story, him attacking Austin Theory. I didn't mind that. It was a leading good point. Now, as for this, what he said about this story, no, he said, if I'm going to live, if I'm going to regain back my life, then Johnny Gargano will not be in NXT. Now, I think I know what this means. I think this means that this will be a loser leaves NXT match. Or probably that. Yeah, loser leaves NXT match and goes to the main roster or maybe to another company. I think it would be best if they would go to another company, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that they would go into the main roster. Now, who do I think would win this match?
Gas trap deployed. Independent variable added.
I don't know, really, to be honest, but they might go with that storyline, but I think it will be good. But at the same time, it's like we've already seen the match. We already know it has potential and that it's a very good storyline, and that some things need to be different.
Gas trap deployed.
Same with Keith Lee. We've already seen matches of you guys can put on a show. We know that. But it's time to move on to a different storyline. And I think I said that's it. Now, as for the NXT tag team title line,
Double timing it.
I think that the first challengers for the NXT tag team, I think that Undisputed Era will get their rematch, but probably in the next 2 weeks. Now, after that match, and two people that I think that are worthy of the tag team titles are the Grizzled Young Veterans. I think there's going to be a part 2 of Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Broserweights. Why do I think that? Number one, Dusty Rhodes Classic. It makes more sense to do that. Because really, I think NXT tag team division has also been quite dead for a little while. Where is that gun? Oh, it's up there. It's been dead for a little while, so it only makes sense. And this will revive, I think, the tag team division. And I think that's it for NXT. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now we are going into AEW. I watched AEW's past shows this week, and it was a very good show. Very good show. Now, here's the only upset I did not like. The upset that I did not like was Jeff Cobb's debut. I think, personally, it was the most terrible debut match probably in the history. I think, personally. Probably the worst debut match in history. Despite the rest of the show was very good. As for that part, no. I'm sorry, but yeah, I messed up on Cobb, and you did him dirty. One, because Cobb is not only a big guy, he is one of probably the top 50 best in the world today. And yeah, I did him dirty. Now, do I like him as Chris Jericho's type assassin or mercenary or whatever? I think that's what they're calling him or whatever. It's a good idea. Now, it's a little odd, but it's a good idea. Let's see Jeff Cobb in the inner circle. Now, the second part. Okay, so let's start with the tag team tournament. It was okay. I know it wasn't gonna be the best, but it was good. The right person won. The Young Bucks are versing the team of Kenny Omega and Adam Page, which, by the way, it was a very good match. They've had a very good tag team title match against the Lucha Brothers, which, by the way, I think personally that was probably one of the best tag team matches I've seen on Dynamite so far. Now, do I think it was the best tag team match in AEW? No, because the first one which the first tag team match that was really good in AEW was, I believe it was the Young Bucks versus LA Proud and Powerful. It was a very good match. They told a very good storyline. You know, the story went a little messy, but they told a very good storyline. But I think the right team won, and we're finally gonna get another classic match between those two tag teams, and they're part of the same faction, the Elite. Which, by the way, is the former Bullet Club, until technically JY did a hostile takeover of it. But anyway, back to regular news. So we're gonna get the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page at Revolution in 2 weeks' time. Which, by the way, that will be a very good tag team match. Now, for the women's division, it was the story behind the Britt Baker. I kind of a little like it, but not really. But I'm starting to get into it more. Starting to type feel it, but slowly. But anyway, back to the storyline. Now, the women's title match the women's division has been a little bit boring. Maybe, but Nyla Rose, hopefully she gets a really good run, a better run, I would say, than Rio. Rio's run was decent, but it wasn't really all that of a title run, to be honest. It was a decent run, though, I'm not gonna lie. She is a very good competitor for a small person, but at the same time, the title, though, needs to be fixed. That title is just too small. I can't take it. I can take the designs of the title seriously. I just can't take the smallness of that title. I just can't. It just doesn't. Oh God, it just doesn't sit right with me.
It's go time. I need a standard stock.
Let's go this way.
Now, as for the Dark Order, I've been hearing lately that Matt Hardy is the Dark Order leader. Does it make sense? Yes, it kind of does, because Matt Hardy is going into AEW, leaving WWE once again.
Spotted. Pop in the chimney.
Leaving WWE once again due to poor storylines, because they don't know what to do with his life.
Outside the ring. Get ready for a world of hurt.
Oh, I knocked him down.
We took out the champion. Good work. Taking a knee. Catching up.
Now, let's go into the Dark. Yeah, I was talking about the Dark Order. Their storyline has been kind of odd and a little messy. And I feel like that their first promo, or their first return back, ever since losing to I think it was the Best Friends. I think it was to the Best Friends. Yeah, it was to the Best Friends. Ever since losing to the Best Friends. Now.
Give me a sec. Recharging shields.
Now, as like they're getting closer to becoming a little bit more popular, they need to work on like who is their real enemy, who is the real target, because it's been all over the place. First it was the Jurassic Express, then it was SCU, then it was the yeah, it was just those two tag teams. And And it's like, number one, who are you picking? And number two, I feel like it would make more sense if it was done with SCU. It gives them more of a pop because SCU was the former tag team champions. Not only that, but they're also a very good tag team. And it would give them more pop if they win against SCU. And that maybe Christopher Daniels can become a good heel. Because I've known Christopher Daniels was a heel, and he did, and it sounds like he could be a very good heel. And not join the Dark Order, but be the fallen angel for the Dark Order, like assassin, personally. But I just wish they would do another match. But I wish it could be a little bit better. But at the same time, it's still kind of, they're still kind of processing. They're still kind of trying to think about, oh, what should we do next? So I think that will be a very good story between SEU and the Dark Order. Now let's get into the match of the day. AEW. I mean, no, actually, no, not match of the. Let's talk about the Sami Zayn versus Darby Allin. Darby Allin is probably the Jeff Hardy. Personally, I think he is the Jeff Hardy of this era. The reason why I say that, not only is because of the pain, but he looks like a rock star, and Jeff Hardy is known as a rock star. And I think he would do an amazing job. I would say Darby Allin is a future world champion. Just because of his resiliency and his immunity to pain, that was the similarity with him and Jeff Hardy, I think personally. He doesn't care about the pain, he just cares about winning. That's all he does. He sacrifices his body no matter what. He does whatever it takes to win. I mean, whatever it takes.
Tango spotted.
Placing an independent variable.
And I think it'll be a little good comeback for him to win against Sammy Guevara.
Gas trap deployed.
Giving my shields a reach.
Administering medical aid.
And it'll be also a very good entertaining match too at the moment. Now let's go into another match that'll be, I think, match of the year. Cody Rhodes versus, which will be Cody Rhodes going one-on-one against MJF, the heel of the century, I think personally. Now this match, this rivalry has turned into an amazing rivalry. I will say that.
I got you.
I got some bad guys here.
What?
We should go here.
It's on.
Nap time's over. Must go faster. We should go here. Come on, come on, come on. 2 squads away from my win, amigos.
We took out the kill leader, rocked him and dropped him.
Lay down, please. Charging on my shields. Using mids. Come on, come on, come on. Charging shields.
Now, like I was saying,
Dude, you should
I think this will be a match of the year. One, because it's And then Cody Rhodes becoming the face of the century, I think personally too. One, because he's had very good promos. Two, he is a very good athlete. He has been a world champion every way he's been ever since leaving WWE. And MJF looking to be the future of AEW, which he's proving to be. And as cocky as he is, he might be right. He might be the future of AEW. A future AEW world champion too, as a matter of fact. Now, a future AEW champion. Now, the story between Now, as with the story between him and his stipulations for him and Cody at Revolution, the first one was the first one with the he can't touch him. That rule is understandable. As for trying to whip 10 lashes against Cody and on live TV, now I expected it to be it's kind of weird. I will say it was a very weird story. That was very weird. But at the same time, it worked. It really worked. Because it's showing how much emotion or how much hit and how much heart Cody really has. And that he's not just a guy with so much money that he can't take any hits, which he could take any hit. Now, this past week's AEW with him and Wardlow. I didn't expect it to be a very good main event, but it turned out to be a very decent main event and probably one of the greatest, not one of the greatest pops, but probably one of the greatest moonsaults in the history of wrestling in general. And I heard that he fractured a toe, supposedly. But Wardlow did kind of show a little strength. But yes, Wardlow did show that he can wrestle in that ring. And the steel cage match, very different. It feels like a little miniature Hell in the Cell. A very similar Hell in the Cell. Miniature Hell in the Cell version of the steel cage. Very nice. I can't wait for the second one. And then we have the match of the night of Revolution. Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley, versus Chris Jericho, the Painmaker. The Judas Effect versus the Paragon Shift. I don't think we're gonna call him the Lunatic Fringe anymore. That's WWE. But anyway, part 2 of this amazing rivalry has taken to an all-new distinct. Now, Jon Moxley has been on a roll and has been undefeated in singles competition, even though he lost in a tag match with Pac, but whatever. He has been undefeated in singles competition ever since he debuted. His last pay-per-view match was with Kenny Omega, a very good extreme lights out match, even though it was kind of a no holds barred, but we're calling it's a lights out match. But anyway, it's been a very good story. Now, last week he had a match with Santana, which, by the way, I would have liked that story, but if they would have done it a few weeks ago. I mean, if they would have done it like when their eyes have healed, it would have made sense. But no, they done it early, and then they had an eye patch match, to be honest. An eye for an eye. And the story that Santana told was a very good promo for his first ever singles match. A very good promo. And I was proud of Santana. Even though he's not a singles competitor, he could be a future singles competitor. Which, by the way, he knows how to work in that ring. Same with Ortiz. They are probably one of the top 10 or top 20 best tag teams in the world today. Now, back to the Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose story. I feel like Dean Ambrose should win. I mean, John Moxley should win because one, he has been very successful. He is now in New Japan. He is a 2-time IWGP United States champion. He could win 2 titles. He can probably hold 2 titles. One in New Japan, one in AEW. One, he's a the main face of AEW. Another, a middle card champion in New Japan. It will be great on his record as his accomplishments in WWE have failed. Even though he's won pretty much every title, but at the same time, it's like it didn't mean nothing. It didn't mean nothing, and that he brings AEW prestige in him winning. Now, would I mind if Chris Jericho wins? Yes, because one, Chris Jericho is getting old. 2, he won't be able to wrestle much longer. As he's in, I think, his mid-40s or his late 40s. I don't know. But I think he's in his mid-40s. But anyway, he's getting old, and and this is probably going to be his last run as a world champion. And then plus, he hasn't won a world champion, I think, ever since 2010. Yeah, 2010 was his last time winning a world title. And it's been literally 9 years since then. And he is now the first ever AEW World Champion. Chris Jericho's title reign has been a very, I repeat, very enjoyable world title reign for his last time probably as a world champion. Now, it could go either way. Like I said, it would be a very good match. Very good match. Hopefully it won't be probably match of the year, but it will probably be a very good match. Now, New Japan, however, Tetsuya Naito will be versing now Hiromu Hanashi, I think. Yeah, Hiromu Takahashi. Which, by the way, him and Will Ospreay stole Wrestle Kingdom in a very amazing match, as he is the IWGP Super Junior Heavyweight Champion. And Tetsuya Naito, who also made history by becoming the first ever Intercontinental Champion and IWGP World Double Champion. The Naito 2 belts. The first ever double champion in New Japan history. Now that is a very big accomplishment because they haven't done that. But anyway, that match is supposed to be happening in the Supercard, which, by the way, I think they are going to do. I think it's in the summer. I think it's in August, which is supposed to be planned for the summer. Now, what are my thoughts on Hiromu? Amazing competitor. Do I see him winning this match? No, because I can see Naito lasting for maybe a year or 2. Because he is just, I thought him personally as the Seth Rollins when he was a good competitor. I mean, no, I'm sorry, no, not a good competitor, a very good face. I think I consider him the baby face of the Seth Rollins of New Japan Wrestling. Because everybody hated him, everybody loved him. But Naito has shown resiliency. Now, or this Okada government, Kazuchika Okada, who was probably one of the greatest New Japan world champions ever. Even though I don't think he is the best I don't think he's the best heavyweight in New Japan. I don't think so. The reason why is because I just see him doing 3 to 4 moves of the same moveset every time. It's either drop kick, tombstone power driver, that snapmare little side kick, and that's it. His finisher, that's it, the Rainmaker. Now his title reigns have been entertaining, but at the same time he doesn't have the moveset of a heavyweight champion. Like for example, Shingo Takagi, who is now, I believe, the never openweight champion. He's finally won his first title, singles title in New Japan. When he beat, I believe it was Goto. Yeah, he beat Goto, which was a good match. But I feel like that the Tomohiro Ishii match, his first title defense, was probably one of the most hardest hitting match of probably ever. Of which I knew they could tour down the house, which they did an amazing job at that. Now Jay White, however, has regained confidence ever since beating Sanada in a good match. Not the best, but a good match. And now I think he's gaining momentum for probably Naito again, because I can't see him versus nobody else. And I think him and Naito, that will probably happen after he defeats Himuru. But we'll see. GOD. Now, GOD, I think that they should not have regained the tag team titles. The reason why is because they haven't been Actually, no. They haven't been. No, they have been prestigious, but they've had it for a very long time. And it's like FinJuice, aka David Finlay, and Juice Robinson should have had it for at least a good 5 to 6 months, because they're not only they're a good tag team, but they have very good chemistry. Same with GOD, they're brothers. But they've held the titles for a long time, and it's time for a new tag team title run. Now, as for Jon Moxley, who we were just talking about in the AEW review, he is the IWGP US champion, a 2-time IWGP US champion. But ever since losing to Will Ospreay for his British Heavyweight Championship, which he has held that title for a very long time too, is now going after Moxley, saying he wants the IWGP US champion versus Moxley. This would be a good match. I'm not gonna say it will be the best, but it will be a good match against a submission technician versus a hardcore guy like Moxley. But at the same time, these guys might have a little bit of good chemistry. Will Ospreay, however, hasn't been really doing much ever since. Besides winning the British Heavyweight Championship, he hasn't really done much. And I think the only 2 people that are worthy of Tetsuya Naito's World Championship are 2 people: Jay White or Will Ospreay. Those are the only 2 people I think personally who deserve a shot at Tetsuya Naito after he versus Himuru. And that's it. But Kota Ibushi and Tanahashi becoming a tag team, a little weird, but I could probably see it, but just a little bit weird. But I just hope that they don't win the tag team titles, though. I just hope that GOD retains them, because they're not really a tag team. They don't have history. But yes, thank you so much, guys, for watching. There'll be another review probably next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.